Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Mansi Sanghavi, and here's where we talk about product management, career, and interviews. In today's video, I'm going to tell you reasons why you should not become a product manager. In this video, I'm going to tell you top reasons why you should not get into product management. That is, if this is your mindset or reasons for becoming a product manager, then maybe it's not good enough and maybe product management is not the right field for you. So let's begin. Reason number one, you think that this field pays really well, and of course, who doesn't want money? And that is why you want to get into the field of product management. Well, let me tell you something. When you run behind money, it will never come to you. You need to be good at what you're actually doing in your job, and only then you're going to progress. May it be product management, may it be anything else you desire or you're actually working into. So, money should never be the only criteria. Of course, an entry level product manager makes somewhere around 14 to 16 lakhs per annum in India, and that's a very normal salary for people who are getting into this field. But think about it this way. If you get into an interview, okay, you crack the interview, you do well, you get into the job. But what if you're not doing well? What if you're not enjoying the process of creating new products for that company or maintaining it or doing what is necessary for that organization as a product manager? How are you going to progress further? The ultimate goal is once you get into a particular field like product management, you want to progress, you want to fall in love with what you're doing, and then you will grow forward from there. A lot of people have been accidental product managers, which means they did not know what they were getting into. This was, say, around 10 to 12 or 15 years ago in India. But they have been successful. Primarily, why? Is because they fell in love with what they were doing. There is also some truth to the fact that product managers are mini CEOs of a product. Now, I don't want to delve into the whole theory of if it is true or not, but it is true till some level that you are definitely responsible for a lot of things in a company. So, if something goes well, you're given the credit. If something does not go well after the product is launched, then you're held responsible for it. Because this position entails so much of responsibility, you need to know a lot of different things, and not always it's going to be tangible, which is why this field is highly paid and you will progress really well when you get into it. But think about it. What is your reason for getting into product management? Is it just money? The second reason that you should not become a product manager is if you are somebody who cannot deal with uncertainty. So, in this particular position, you will always be faced with different challenges where business stakeholders want you to create a certain feature or a product. It may or may not be possible. And while you're creating that, there are so many external and internal uncertainties. It could be dealing with resources, it could be dealing with policies, it could be dealing with the government regulations in the country in which you want to launch that particular product. So, in the hindsight, you might not know what these things are, but the moment you are into it, the moment you actually jump into the water is when you know if you can actually swim or drown. That's the simplest way in which I can put it for you. So, if you are somebody who wants everything extremely planned and structured and you cannot deal with some type of uncertainty, then maybe you should reconsider getting into product management. A lot of times you will be in a situation where you really have to make a decision in a short period of time with limited data or limited information. If that decision goes well, then great. If it does not go well, then you have to be ready for the negative feedback also. But people who are in this field or your managers who are in this field for a long time do understand that as well. So if you can deal with uncertainty, then great. But if not, then maybe it's time for you to reconsider your reasons of getting into product management. An easy way to figure that out is ask yourself this question. If something goes wrong at work tomorrow, how will I feel when I'm answering business stakeholders? What do I do when I'm cross questioned? Am I ready to course correct? Am I somebody who is okay to take negative feedback and course correct? or does it bother me too much and I'm not able to focus at work? Another way to look at it is, if you're given very limited information and if you're given just 2 days to make a decision, how do you feel? How well do you sleep at night? How well are you able to function at work because of that? So some of these insights will help you decide if you really want to get into product management or not. The third reason is, if you don't like talking to people, then product management is definitely not for you. In this field, you need to go ahead and talk to different stakeholders. You need to manage different scenarios. You need to manage different expectations between different people. So if you're somebody who cannot manipulate things to a certain extent, cannot listen too much, or does not want to maneuver things to get things done, then hey, give it a second thought, because this is what you will be doing most of your days. A typical day in the life of a product manager is talking to developers, QA, maybe a team lead or an engineering manager, depending on who you talk to on a daily basis on the development side. You will be talking to your business stakeholders, you will be talking to customers. So you see, everybody's personality is different, and whatever they want out of you and the product that you're creating is definitely going to be different. So the way you present your ideas, the way you deal with roadblockers, it's going to be obviously cater to what their thoughts and their mindset are, and you cannot disappoint anybody. So you have to make sure that you are sane while talking to people, you're not getting frustrated, and you're communicating the right things at the right time. You are looked at as a consultant for that particular product. So what does a consultant do? They not necessarily know all the answers at every point, but they can definitely make sure that the team works in the right direction to drive it to the business goals. So you might be faced with certain challenges or certain uncertainties that we spoke about earlier, but you have to go ahead and communicate those uncertainties in the right way. So if somebody asks you a question, if you don't know the answer, you have to be ready to get up and say that, hey, you know what, I don't know about this, but let me get back to you. So if you have it in you to deal with certain type of situations like this, then definitely product management is something you will enjoy. Go ahead and ask yourself, do I enjoy communicating to people? How do I see myself working in an organization on a daily basis? Is it okay if I have to deal with certain type of stress which comes in from communication? If yes, then great, then you're doing the right thing by getting into this field. Reason number 4 is, you are somebody who does not like taking initiatives or thinking out of the box. So it's sort of in line with the previous point that we discussed earlier, which is dealing with uncertainty. But one of the outputs or one of the things that you need to have as a product manager is dealing with certain situations in which your creativity and out of the box thinking is required, which means you are putting a lot of things at stake when you come up with a recommendation or an idea. So think about it in this way. If you are working in an organization and they don't know what to do, what will you do? You look at the competitors, you will look at what the market is doing outside. But if you have a good idea, are you ready to pitch it to the management team? Are you ready to take on board certain challenges? And are you somebody who wants to take initiatives to run these MVP experiments in the organization and then see if it is working out or not? So this definitely involves a lot of creative thinking, taking initiatives, and keeping a lot of things at stakes, because remember that you do not have all the time in the world to gather data, to run A/B testing, to create different prototypes and then go into the market. So you have to be somebody who can think out of the box, try different ideas. It can be even called as pivoting. You're trying to pivot different ideas, and then it's like a yes or no, a quick decision, like, okay, this was a success or it wasn't, and then you will move forward to the next idea. So if you have this sort of a go-getter attitude, if you're somebody who can definitely think about situations in a creative way, then yeah, product management is for you. So ask yourself this question: how do I deal with difficult situations? Am I somebody who can think out of the box with different creative ideas? Are you somebody who sits down and journals things like, okay, I can do A, B, C? Are you somebody who always has a plan B to different things that you're doing in your life? So If you are, then definitely product management is for you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I would really appreciate it if you click on the subscribe button, because that keeps me motivated. I come up with new videos once in every week. And follow me on Instagram. It's @Mansi Sanghavi official. I will see you in the next week.